Hey, what's up guys, this is again Showtime with FZ back with another video, but this time it is a new series on our channel's finally beginning. It is FIFA 22 career mode, and today we are starting with this series of FIFA 22 career mode episodes with one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi's career mode. But instead of being manager, we are starting this career mode by player career mode as Lionel Messi. So we'll be tracking trophies, goals, assists, and much more. So this is the first season as in real life. He's 34 years old at Paris Saint-Germain. So let's see, this is him unveiled to Paris Saint-Germain after Barcelona move. And yeah, we'll try to make this as interesting as possible and as realistic as possible, this career mode series. So let's not waste time and let's just begin. As you can see, these are all the menus that we can configure, such as, for example, notifications, where we will get mails, as well as a squad hub as in manager career mode, and many other things where we can retire or request a transfer or loan. And this is just a career summary of goals, assists, and much more. And also we will be training Lionel Messi so that he doesn't lose his overall that much, because well, as he's aging, of course he will be losing his overall of 93 rated. So we'll try to maintain his overall as well as possible. And let's begin with this first season. And by the way, here are all the training drills that I will be using. And these are the starting stats of real life Lionel Messi by the end of season 2020-2021. So this is the end of the first season, and let's see how they done. So Paris Saint-Germain wins the league title as well as Trophy des Champions, and they lost in the quarterfinals of the Coupe Nationale. Well, they actually lost in the final of Coupe Nationale. Super Cup was won by Chelsea, and here's the Champions League. So they finished second in round of 16. They are beaten by Bayern, who win the Champions League. So Mbappe was the top goal scorer of Ligue 1, and Messi was top goal scorer of Coupe de France or Coupe Nationale. And the top goal scorer of the Champions League was Lewandowski with 9 goals in 13 games. So let's see now how Lionel Messi has done this season. And as you can see, he has scored 17 times and provided 5 assists in 40 games this season for Paris Saint-Germain. So his overall has dropped to 92. By the way, he was nominated for Ballon d'Or with Suarez, Lewandowski, and Ronaldo, and Lewandowski has won it. So now it's time for the World Cup, and let's see how he will do. So his team finishes second, and in the round of 16 they are against Belgium, and they win on penalties. Very interesting. Moving forward with the next stage, it is the quarterfinals, and he is against England. And let's see the result. So Argentina versus England, quarterfinal of the FIFA World Cup 2022. Let's see how Lionel Messi will do. And they win in the extra time 4-2. They lose to England, so England wins 4-2, and then Spain ends up winning it with Italy in the third place. So this is the end for 2022 World Cup this season. 19 goals, 7 assists in 44 games, and 2 trophies. 6% value decrease, by the way. Now next season, this season Messi was also nominated, but Neymar won the Ballon d'Or. Very good for him, the first Ballon d'Or for his career. And now Paris Saint-Germain again has won the league title with 93 points as well as Trophy des Champions, but they've been knocked out in the round of 16 by Angers of the Coupe Nationale. Super Cup was won by Bayern, and in the Champions League they finished top of their easiest possible group. In the round of 16 they lost to Liverpool, and Real Madrid ends up winning it. So in 50 games Messi has scored 19 times and provided 15 assists, and his overall stayed quite good, but I think it's time for him to request a transfer. So he was top assister along with Neymar, and third best goal scorer, so 19 goals, 15 assists in 50 games, and 2 trophies, also 16% value decrease. And his overall is still 92. Now season 3. And we have offers from Inter Milan, Real Madrid. What are they thinking? Atletico Madrid? No. Spurs, I don't see Messi playing for Spurs, sorry. Atalanta, as well as Bayer Leverkusen and Sevilla. And that's how the transfer window ends. Unfortunately, no real good opportunities except for this one, which is Chelsea at the last minute deal, and Lionel Messi joins Chelsea, because I think that's pretty good. And this is the Chelsea side, so as you can see, this is his presentation. And the value transfer was for 107 millions. Let's see if Cristiano Ronaldo is still playing here. Yes, he is 88 overall, and he's still playing in the Premier League for Manchester United, so that's good. And now let's see how Chelsea does. So they finish first, 2 points away from Manchester United. They win Premier League. They also won the Community Shield, but not with Messi. Messi was not playing for Chelsea back then. They win Emirates FA Cup, so that's another plus for Lionel Messi. They unfortunately lose in the quarterfinals to Liverpool of the Carabao Cup, and the Super Cup was won by Atleti, and in the Champions League they finished top of their group. In the round of 16 they get knocked out by Napoli, and Bayer Leverkusen wins the Champions League. Very strange, but anyway. So let's see who was the top scorer. So you can see the top scorers in here, including the Champions League, Vinicius Jr. with 9 goals in 12 matches. So that's the end of the season, and this season Messi has scored 22 goals and 9 assists in 52 games. That's what I wanted from him in the Premier League, but now he's 91 overall. By the way, he was the top scorer of his team. And so 22 goals, 11 assists in 57 games, and 2 trophies. By the way, 1% increase of the value. On to season 4, and I think we shall of course stay with Chelsea, but look at this, Chelsea finishing 5th, which means Europa League. We're not gonna stay here. They also lose FA Cup final to Manchester United. They lose in the round 6 of the FA Cup. They also lost in the Carabao Cup, but on what stage? I don't quite see. Okay, they lost in the round 3 of the to Leicester City. Leverkusen wins the Super Cup, and in the Champions League they finished 2nd in their group. They beat Leverkusen in the quarterfinals. They beat Benfica, then they beat Barcelona. No, actually Barcelona beats them, and then Paris Saint-Germain wins it. So, not a great season for Messi. 56 games and just 11 goals and 11 assists. Not the greatest of all time. Well, top assister for his team, but I think it's time for a transfer. So we got over from Paris Saint-Germain, and I don't want him going there, not yet at least. I will start the offer from Lazio, but I still don't think he will go there. So season 5 and another offer from Monaco. Liverpool, I don't quite see Messi playing for Liverpool, sorry, but I do really want some Manchester City or some other Premier League team. Hertha Berlin and Lazio, also Fulham trying to sign Messi, also Juve, not yet. Brentford, very strange, and Paris Saint-Germain again, but this time no again, then Real Sociedad, then Atalanta, then Atleti, and that's how this transfer window ends. Unfortunately, no good deals, at least because I don't really want Messi going to Syria, not yet. Then Olympique Lyonnais, of course, no. Borussia Dortmund, interesting, but no. Real Betis, also RB Leipzig wanted him, but no, of course. Bayern, that's an interesting offer, so I will stall it, but not yet, at least. I want him still playing in the Premier League, at least for now, because I think it's more competitive, and Messi still has something to offer. So that is exactly the reason why I don't want Inter Milan as well, because I don't want him going to Serie A or Bundesliga, not yet. I want him to be competing better. Athletic Club, and that's how this winter transfer window ends again. So he ends up in Chelsea, and he manages to get 4th in the Premier League. They also do not win the FA Cup, being knocked out in the round, I think 3 or round 2 even. No, where did they get knocked out? That's interesting, but I don't. Round 3, Bolton. Very strange. So no Carabao Cup. They've been beaten up by Liverpool this time. Paris Saint-Germain won the Super Cup, and Borussia Dortmund won the Champions League. Now, what about the Europa League, in which Messi was? They finished second in their group, so they beat Atalanta, they beat Roma, they beat Frankfurt, and they are beaten by Bayern, and then Barcelona wins the Europa League. Very strange. This season, Messi scored 15 times and assisted 4 times in 56 games for club and country. So, not great, pretty average to be fair, but it's still okay for him, I guess. 59 games, 15 goals, and 4 assists. By the way, this is now the year of the World Cup, so let's see how things will go. In the quarterfinals, or round of 16, they are against Australia, and they lose, unfortunately. So that's the end of World Cup. Now I will again reject Bayern and Borussia Dortmund. I don't want him going to Bundesliga. Brighton, then we have Monaco, so no again, of course. Then Atleti, AC Milan, that seems interesting, but not yet to Serie A. Also, we get an offer from Juve, but I said no to Serie A already. And finally, Manchester City wants to sign Messi for the season 5. This is their team, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm happy Pep Guardiola and Lionel Messi's reunion here. So as you can see, this transfer cost them 170 million euros, and they only finished 6th in the Premier League. Quite disappointing, to be honest. Again, Europa League, I guess. Let's see. So they lost in the FA Cup in the round 5 to Chelsea, whom we left, but they win the Carabao Cup, so that's plus. But Barcelona wins the Super Cup, and in the Champions League we beat Paris Saint-Germain, we beat Juve, and we are beaten by Chelsea. The team we left wins the Champions League. Come on now. Alvarez, by the way, of Manchester City was the top scorer with 12 goals and 12 in 12 matches. Messi also scored a lot, but now I will request a loan because, well, I don't want him to be playing in Europa League anymore. So 15 goals, 9 assists in 59 games, and 1 trophy won by Lionel Messi in the 6th season. Moving on to season 7, and we get quite a lot of offers from Leicester, Brighton. These are just loan offers, not real offers. So now Aston Villa, of course, no. And next offer, let's see what will be the next offer that we get for loaning out Messi. It's Brentford. How do they get even the feeling that they can sign Messi? Then Bournemouth, I guess. Then it is Spurs, then AC Milan. It's still early for us to move to Serie A, maybe 1 or 2 more seasons in the competitive Premier League, then Borussia Dortmund, and well, unfortunately, I think that is how this transfer window ends. And yeah, Messi stuck with Manchester City, but we get other offers from Hertha Berlin and Paris Saint-Germain mid of the season. So it means that he will be joining Paris Saint-Germain in the winter transfer window, and here is their team, which looks pretty good. 96 rated Mbappe, and they win the Liga title once again with Messi. They lose in the Coupe Nationale to Pau FC in round of 16. Very strange. Man U wins the Super Cup, and now for the Champions League. So they beat Karsi Genk, and they're beaten by Barcelona, and Man U again wins this competition. What about Manchester City, who were in Europa League? So they beat Valencia, or they were beaten by Valencia. Very strange. Okay, so Messi scored in 25 games 3 times and assisted 7 for Paris Saint-Germain in the second half of the season. But he also, by the way, Man City won the Premier League. So he also scored 9 times and assisted 4 in 28 games for Manchester City in the first half of the season. So in total, 12 goals, 11 assists in 53 games, and 1 trophy for Messi. By the way, his overall starts growing again because after 40 years old, it doesn't go lower. And finally, Manchester City again wins the Premier League as well as FA Community Shield. They lose in the FA Cup to Watford in round 6, but they win the Carabao Cup 3-1 against Leeds United. Man U wins Super Cup, and now for the Champions League. They top their group, they go through Bayern, they beat Chelsea, and they're in the final and they lose against Real Madrid. Very disappointing. By the way, Messi scored 12 times and assisted 7 times in 61 games. And he also won 3 trophies this year, and his rating is now 91 overall. Very good. Season 9. He was nominated for Ballon d'Or, but his teammate Foden won it. So, a little bit disappointing, but not too much. Now the next season, and they finish only 3rd in the Premier League. They win the FA Community Shield. They lose to Leicester in round 5 of the FA Cup, and they lose in the Carabao Cup against Brentford. Very disappointing. Now Real Madrid wins the Super Cup, and the Champions League is won. They beat Salzburg, they beat Wolfsburg, and they are in the final against Barcelona, and Messi loses the final once again. Oh, well, that's bad. Now we'll request a transfer for Messi for the next season to move to a lower league. By the way, this is the World Cup season, so Messi is against Belgium in the round of 16 of the World Cup, and Belgium beats them. Very disappointing. That's very sad, and England ends up winning the World Cup. So Messi scored 13 times and assisted 5 times in 58 games, and he has won 1 trophy this season. Moving on to season 10. So here we are. Bayern. No, I don't want to go to Bayern. Not Olympique Lyonnais. No more Paris Saint-Germain in this video. No Chelsea as well. Of course, not Arsenal. What about AC Milan? I would accept it. Serie A it is. So that's their team. They will use Messi as a striker. That's good for Messi scoring a lot of goals. By the way, this transfer was 116.3 million euros or dollars. So let's see how they did. Oh no, they finished 3rd in the Serie A. So what about the Coppa Italiana or Coppa Italia? Let's see. Sassuolo wins it, and they were beaten by Sassuolo or Sampdoria. No, Sassuolo, yes, in the quarterfinals. Barca wins Super Cup, and now for the Champions League. So they finished 2nd in their group of 2 Red Bull teams. And, well, they were beaten in the round of 16. Okay, so 17 goals and 8 assists, top goal scorer and top assister for his team in 50 games. No trophies though. That's a good season. That's what I wanted. Less competitive league, but more goals and more assists. Next season, it's 5th that Milan has finished. They didn't win Coppa Italia. They lost in round of 16 to Torino. Wolves win the Super Cup, and in the Champions League, they got grouped. Wow. Now they need to win this. Oh no, they even lost in the round of 16 of the Europa League, and PSG wins the Champions League. By the way, this is time for a transfer. Wow, Messi scored 20 times and assisted 5 times in 49 games. Season 12, the first transfer is from Napoli, and why not? They won the league last year, so this is a good opportunity for Messi. This is their team, so let's see how they will do. By the way, Messi was injured this season. Now let's see how they did, and they finished 3rd again this season. What about Supercoppa Italiana? They win it, so 1 more trophy. In the Coppa Italia, they lose in semi-finals to Inter. In Super Cup, they will, Brighton wins Super Cup. And in the Champions League, they top their group in the round of 16. They go through Sporting, then they go through Bayern. Wow, that's great. Revenge. Oh, they go through Barcelona, and they're in the final against Leipzig. And they lose it. Come on now. Saka was the top scorer, and look at that. 19 goals and 10 assists in 51 games for Lionel Messi, and 1 trophy this season. Season 12. So I'm happy with Napoli, so I think he shall stay here 1 more season at least. So let's see how Messi has done this season. So in Serie A they finished 5th. They don't win Coppa Italia. They are beaten by Venezia in round of 16. Very disappointing. What about Super Cup, where Real Sociedad wins it? And now for the Champions League, they finished 2nd in their group. Okay, in the round of 16, they are beaten by Manchester City, and RB Leipzig again wins it. Wow, very strange. So now I will request a transfer for now. By the way, this is the year of the World Cup, and Messi loses to Netherlands in the round of 16. By the way, Messi scored a penalty, and England again wins it. So 18 goals, 7 games, 47 in 47 games, 7 assists. And season 14, and wow, look at this! Last two seasons, and it's Barcelona that offers $125 million for Messi. What a comeback! I'm pretty sure he will win Champions League, or maybe score a lot of goals at least. So that was Barcelona's team. And well, yes, here we go. They win La Liga. They lose in Supercopa to Real Madrid. Also, Real Madrid wins Copa de España. They lose to them as well. Super Cup is won by Liverpool. And now for the Champions League. What? They are grouped. Come on. No, I didn't expect that for sure. Now they have to win Europa League, because there are no excuses. They beat Olympique Marseille, they beat Osasuna, they beat Lille, they beat Brighton, and they win Europa League. But wow, a bit of an L, not gonna lie, for Messi in his last 2 seasons with Barcelona, and not even Champions League, but Europa League. Okay, and let's see. Yo, look at this. 23 goals and 13 assists in 58 games. Lionel Messi at Barcelona is just something different. 94 rated as well. Look at that. Messi at his absolute best. Once again, just playing for Barcelona makes him score and assist by so much more. Okay, now it's time for the last season. But look at this, retire as a player. Why so early? He's 48 years old, and I don't know why, but this is all the trophies, and these are all the final stats for Lionel Messi. I don't quite know why this career mode finished so early, because there was supposed to be one more season, but well, we don't get that last season. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and want more such series of videos, make sure to subscribe, click like, and also comment what videos you want us to make next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!